range roam.
Free range bears. Hello everyone and welcome to Changeling Gaming. I'm Jeremy and with me today we've got Joe, Emily, and Jeff. And we're going to be playing Gloom. Now in Gloom, we're looking to make our families as miserable as humanly possible. And then kill them off while they're in that most miserable of states. Whoever has the most miserable family in death will be victorious. Sadly. But to start off the game, we're sort of in an alright mood, and let's meet our families. So, Jeff, who is in your family?
My family is the Blackwater Clan, because I still can't remember the actual name of them, headed by the old dam herself, my murderous matriarch, who at her right hand is the old Willem Stark, her very disturbing handyman, her starry-eyed serial killer of a daughter, Angel, and the red-headed stepchild, Cousin Mordecai. I'm gonna do well, I hope.
Well, they
Or
meet you,
not.
Blackwater Clan.
Well and truly in the grave. That's where they're going.
Fair.
Well, my family lives in Hemlock Hall, very well known. The parents tend to vacation in far-off destinations and leave their lovely 3 children under the watchful eye of Butterfield, a lurking butler, and Goody Czar, a nefarious nanny. What the 2 get up to, we won't go into that. We're going to learn that today. But the 3 children are really the stars of this family. We have the Lola Wellington Smythe, who's the wild child. She is absolutely, the I don't know what to say, the hip 20s were her thing. And then also the adorable Tots, whose sociopathic demonic laughter haunts the halls of Hemlock Hall.
Haunts the halls with boughs of...
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Hemlock. Oh, the family's dead. Sorry, we're neighbors. It's gonna happen.
That's fair.
Don't worry, your gift's on the front porch.
Just a little distance away from Hemlock Hall is also Castle Slogar, where the Slogar family resides. Headed up by the nefarious Professor Helena Slogar, the one in charge of the entire family, the Mad Inventor, whose husband is currently, for some reason, a brain in a box. The good Lord Slogar has an interesting existence as it remains for him. Their daughter, from before Lord Slogar became a brain, is Melissa Slogar, and she is a rather dour and just sad child in a giant, cavernous, cold, clammy castle. And finally, we have their assistant, Elias E. Gore, the ever faithful manservant to the professor.
Well, in this little peaceful town, you just hear all these weird sirens and clanking and whatever music coming up from this weird valley below, and lo and behold comes Dark's den of I can't remember. Deformity. There's too many D's in this
Roll
name.
with the D's, roll with the
Try
D's.
again.
Just keep more D words. Just keep going.
We're getting there. It's getting better.
Dark dead deformity to that. Rolls up and coming out of the back of this little van and trolley, well, there's no van in this world, trolley looking thing, appears Darius Dark, the ringleader himself, and his band of deformity cast. So we have Melissa, the diminutive little tiny little person who we thought, she could sing and do all these things, and nobody paid attention to the fact that she's this small, but we'll go with it. There's also Samson O'Toole, the bearded man, and often there's the bearded lady, but there's no credit to the bearded man, so he likes to, make sure that everybody is represented in this gang. And then finally, Alessandra DeVille, she is a very quiet, subtle human. We don't know much about her yet, but maybe we'll learn more. She's yet to reveal what is actually underneath her cloth. So come and join the circus if you'd like. That's an option.
First turn, back to the Blackwater clan.
Yes. So, let's get this party started. I think what we're going to start off with is a bit of a community building event. I'm gonna just go fully backwards here, and the old dam is going to host a card game where she is actually going to be quite clever at cards, which sounds very, very wrong, but I get to draw a card because that's what's on there. But more importantly, I've invited the entire town over for my second play, which is an event called The Root of All Evil, because you've been invited to gamble with the old dam.
Oh,
Okay.
So I get to draw one card from each opponent's hand. Because you all fell for my devious trap of cards, but I'm more clever than all of you. This is why she sits like this. And because I control a character with this little money icon in the corner from being clever at cards, I can play any number of the cards I steal from you as free plays right now.
Whoa, you're making our lives positively negative.
The old dam's having a real good time. I'm gonna take this one, and this one, and this one. Oh. Whoops. Okay, and then, as a wonderful result of all of that, I think I will play for free on Cousin Mordecai, because he's just the neglected stepchild, that he is in fact being pestered by poltergeists, because not even our dead relatives like this kid. Which I will then also have to give 2 cards of my choice from my hand to the player on my right, which will be the other 2 I just got for free.
Well, thanks. I'll take
I
those
don't
back.
know what to do with those. And that is the end of my turn, so I will draw my next card to go back to the 5 I'm supposed to have.
Well, this is entertaining. I do want to say that our nefarious nanny really got into online shopping.
Wait, there's no bands in this world.
There are no bans in this world, but online shopping does exist. It's mostly by writing in, actually, like letters.
Online shopping is a constant.
It's a constant. These cards are made of plastic. Anyway, no, but online shopping and got swindled by a salesman, and it's kind of a little bit miserable about that. I don't know, like really, really horrible swindling, and you'll see why, because it ended up going to you instead.
Oh.
It never got delivered to me. I made the booking, and it went to my neighbor instead. And then it's okay because our butler was called down to downtown where the queen resides. The queen, and was castigated by the queen because of apparently our parents haven't come back recently enough, and they're now at risk of losing their citizenship. So we are our butler had to deal with that down at City Hall.
Oh.
Putting all that responsibility on your butler.
Yeah.
Now, over in Castle Slowgar, Elias E. Gore, he has a long time suffered from sores as a result of his constant work and the slightly ill-fitting clothing and garments that he has to wear. He's just covered in all of these sores all over his body. Like, there's blisters on his hands, he's got things on the backs of his feet. It's awful. And that sort of spread across the body into a collection of unfortunate sores.
No.
Are you trying to make us have a pleasant life?
I do believe the twins were charmed at the circus. They took the opportunity to visit Dark's Den of Deformity while it was in town, and they actually had a wonderful time. They're actually having just a marvelous start to their
What
new year.
shows are you putting on at the circus? These 2 kids hate everything.
You know it's magic.
And that'll be it for me.
Trade secrets.
Yeah, hashtag tea.
Thank you for a great time.
Yeah, have fun.
Actually, you're welcome. Well, actually, even before you showed up, I have to tell you a little bit behind the scenes of what happened. As we were setting up, Thumbelissa sort of wandered off into the wood area and happened to encounter a porcupine. And because she's so small and the porcupine is so large, she was pierced with some porcupine cubes. So sometimes having too many points can be a dangerous thing. So there she is.
I like that double play on the word.
Also, Joe, I have some really good news.
I don't need any more.
But the paperwork came through, you see. Everybody's fine. So your butler can actually go home. And everything's done over there. So you're going to remove your top
choose
card
one
there.
living character, discard its top modifier card.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was so
everything's
ready
fine.
to kill
The rest of
him,
his day went
too.
really well. He got to walk home. He even stopped for a little espresso. Everything's okay.
Do you have your permits? Do you have your permits to perform in this town? I don't think you've got your permits.
Actually, that's I do because it came with the paperwork. We're all legal here. We're all kosher. Everything's fine.
Oh boy.
And then I'm gonna draw back up to.
Thank you so much for helping me.
I just intend to make everybody else tearful. It's okay.
Well, so first and foremost, I think it's important to know that Thumbelissa, while she did encounter a porcupine, and that's really terrible for her, acupuncture is actually really good for her, and she slept without sorrows last night after all those needles. Just real, she's having a great time. On the other hand, the little starry-eyed serial killer angel over here did in fact get that holiday that you ordered online and got misdelivered, and when she went on it, she definitely fell down a whole bunch of stairs, and she had a real horrible holiday, and now she's just broken, and with her goes the rest of my hand as she falls all the way down that hotel staircase. And I don't get to draw this turn either, so I just have no cards.
So you discard and then don't draw?
Discard your entire hand. Also, skip your draw phase this turn.
Ow!
But,
What are the negatives?
20 and 20.
Wow.
She broke both of those legs going down that hotel staircase.
Ow.
Ow.
And we do not have a family lawyer. Just saying.
Do you want my people to call your people? I got some good lawyers.
To get that paperwork done.
Yeah. It's key.
Well, our children were a part of an advertisement, I believe, for this great festival carnival to go to. And fortunately, they're now recognized on the street of having a good time, and they're now being shunned by society. Oh, I did that in the wrong order. I did that in the wrong order.
Wait.
I'm gonna rewind.
Oh, the media waiver got this.
They haven't been shunned yet. What are they going to do that's going to get them shunned?
It's okay. So they will be shunned eventually, but my wild... One second. Yes, my wild child decided to go for a walk after our butler came back happy. I was like, this house is falling apart. Like, no one should be happy at our domain. Hemlock Hall is the most miserable place to live. And went for a walk, and there was a really pleasant dragon sculpture in a topiary, and it petrified her because everywhere she looked was happiness. There was a flower in the garden. The sun had come out. So she ran terrified by a topiary. And hasn't been seen for some time.
Yeah. Just ruins your day.
Yeah, one flower was enough for my wild child. No absolutely none. But then our lovely children are being recognized because they went down to the circus. It was used in advertising when we didn't sign the paperwork.
Hey, you walked into the space. There were signs. So.
It's an implied waiver.
But they're being shunned by society for being so pleasant in town right now. And we have a thing to keep up. And just like the thing I lost, my trip I sent to my neighbor's house, I'm also discarding my hand and unable to draw this turn.
So, Elias E. Gore has continued. He's troubled by sores. They've been really hampering him as he moves and walks around. But more than this, because he's the one who has to go into all the deep crannies of the castle to find the different pieces of inventions that the professor asks for him to pull out, he has unfortunately been menaced by mice. as all of these tiny little critters have just come in and been tearing at his Achilles in ways that are quite unpleasant. So that's the unfortunateness of Elias E. Gore. Now, I would love to know the story behind how this happened to Lord Slogar, but unfortunately, the only thing we know was that he was mauled by a manatee. Now, how a brain in a box finds itself in water such that it can be mauled by a manatee, I am not entirely sure, though I do believe it might have something to do with the fact that Helena had some kind of device that conjured a manatee in his tank. Mm-hmm. For what purpose, I do not know.
In? Oh god.
In.
I just assumed that Igor had misstocked the shark moat with it.
You know, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go with
It's
that.
always been Igor's fault.
It is
I
in
mean,
fact.
it kind of is always Igor's fault.
It is in fact Igor's fault. The moat was the moat was stocked with manatees, and Lord Slogar somehow likes to go for a swim. It's just a
rolled off
brain.
the end of the bridge.
All right. In any case, the manatees do force me to skip my draw phase this turn, so I have only 3. Discard.
So I need to send an apology letter. My manatee kind of got away, but we will need it back. Show 2 is tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Wait, you also have animals in your show?
Yeah. They're very well trained to look after.
They ride a fine line between way too fun for this town and extremely dangerous and right on brand.
Yeah.
Because you know, of the water shows you want to go see, it's manatees doing tricks.
Yes.
You pay money and then they just float.
So a couple things happened.
Yeah.
Night rolled around on this eve, and one of my crew members, they were partying a little too much, and they were disgraced at a dance where some of their materials came off. Their shoe got lost, and it was a glass shoe. So good thinking though in some ways, but not because now they're just wandering around barefoot and disgraced. So I'm gonna give a little nega-rooney to this character here. But then also, the nanny there. She went for a little bit of a wander after the show, and that's why the kids were running around the town. So they got a little lost and abandoned. She wasn't monitoring them enough. She wandered down to the bog, and I'm really sorry, she actually happened to drown down there and didn't come back, and now the kids are having a good time around the town. But
They hated her. How dare you kill her? This is gonna make their life so much better.
now they're free to live their best life.
Wow. She died moderately sad.
Only moderately
Moderate.
sad.
Only moderately.
All she
actually
wanted was
had
her packages.
If only she had fallen down the hotel staircase instead.
So, but I just want to let you know that we have upped our security and our monitoring of our show to make sure that our welcomed guests actually return to the town, and that all kids are watched.
Well, it's definitely my turn, and then it's definitely no longer my turn. I got
You
nothing,
draw 5.
but I get to draw 5. There we go.
With the death in the family, our hall has drawn its curtains and no one has come out for days. Shunned by society, so my turn is now done.
Because you also had to skip your draw phase.
It's a mandatory day of mourning in the family code.
I just have this vision of the kids sitting inside, like watching.
Oh, no, they're doing the new dance. Yeah.
Yes. Cue the Lady Gaga, please.
All right. Well,
Ooh, okay.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Till Death Do Us Part, which lets me choose an untimely death card from the discard pile, then play it on a living character that has either thing or a negative self-worth modifier. Okay, and okay, I'm going to be curious to see how this progresses everything, but the poor Elias E. Gore has found himself devoured by weasels. So it would appear that all of those mice that were menacing him because they were trying to get away from something much more dangerous. In this case, ravenous weasels, who then tore him to shreds and devoured every last fragment of him.
No one is ever going to clean up this castle.
No one is going to.
Just a
And
mess.
I cannot wait to find out what other things Elias did wrong that are going to cause everyone else to suffer in this castle.
Oh god.
Regardless, from there, I will. Unfortunately, Professor Helena Slogar has grown old without grace. She has, with her husband a brain in a box, and her assistant unable to assist, she has gotten more and more crotchety and more, as the townsfolk refer to her, mad as time has gone on, with cackling echoing through the towers of the castle at odd times of the night, and she has not grown old pleasantly. Now, this does say the player to your right may randomly select and discard 2 cards from your hand. You may. You don't have to. I only have the 1.
I can just discard it?
Yes. Do you want me to discard this or not?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. It's an untimely death that says you may use an untimely death card as your second play this turn.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't need any more people dying over there.
Yeah, but I did need more cards, so...
For my turn, from Melissa, who, wandered in the woods, got a little bit porcupined, she actually ended up being late for day 2. She was having such a good time, and then so for that reason, she was written out of the cast will. So she no longer will be receiving those additional funds, and we asked her to, make sure to be on time in the future because timeliness is everything. And then I'm actually going to pass for my second turn and just drop to 5.
All right. Well, back over this way in the Blackwater clan holdings, there is a rather startling turn of events where no one really believed Cousin Mordecai when he said he was being pestered by poltergeists. It turns out he actually had a very ravenous case of untreated worms, and he was consumed from within.
Oh no!
Unfortunate for him, but also not really, because no one was paying any attention to the stepchild of our family, obviously. He just lived next door in the shed. So that's my first one, and then I think we're also going to... Since I believe the grand brain in a box of Castle Slogar, when he fell in with the manatees, there was also, I don't know what Igor was doing at your castle, but somehow in that same situation, he ended up being completely diverted as his brain was submerged in drink. And now he's having a great time because he's just a big old drunk brain in a box. which for some reason seems to float.
All right.
And that's that. But I believe you have to discard a card.
I do have to discard a
I'm
card.
gonna draw mine back to my 5 because that's my turn.
I'm going to discard this Beaten by Beggars.
Okay. All right, that's me. Oh, don't do this to me.
Bless
Wait,
you.
do this to me. No, damn.
I'm sending over, I feel you just need, with this death in the family, some purification. So I'm just sending a person over to exercise a little bit.
Not the bishop.
The bishop's on his way.
He also does funerals.
He does. And it's funny because my lovely Butterfield kid found out about Goody dying. And now he came home feeling a little bit more dour, a little sadder, being greeted by ghosts.
Oh.
I'm discarding 3 cards.
Oh.
And that's the end of my turn.
I also get to discard any number of cards from this bishop visit and then redraw.
Oh.
So I will do that.
I do help your staff.
I'm gonna do those 3 because I just want some new cards.
Okay. So, what is it? Melissa Slogar, the tiny child, went on a little field trip one day, and as she went on that field trip, it was actually to she decided she wanted to try to find a way to make her very miserable, and she decided to go to government. So
it's great. I really believe in that.
Yeah. So she took a trip to Parliament. However, she found herself quite popular in Parliament, to the point where she actually gets to draw 2 cards for being so popular in Parliament. Yes, yeah. And while she was off discovering that she was actually quite popular in Parliament, you see, her father, Lord Slogar, contracted consumption as a result of his alcoholism.
Oh.
Add a little to
and is and despite being just a brain, is still suffering from consumption, which I believe festers in the lungs.
Yep.
So that is mightily unfortunate for him.
His wife needs to stop inventing new organs for him to fail.
yeah, pretty much. But my draw limit is decreased by 1 as long as he has consumption in his brain.
So it's been a while since we've been here, but I have one question with all this that's happening. Have you pickled anything this year? Have you done any pickling yet for the season?
Oh,
Right.
no. Or at least I haven't. Helena, on the other hand.
Clearly.
It's her winter hobby.
Yeah, you know, just
Gotta keep busy when you're cackling on the tower.
I only have pickles. I'm done.
All right.
All right, let's go.
So while she was a wanderer, and yes, she was doing great political things, but unfortunately, while she was out and about with all the other people in town, she was overcome by measles and died.
She actually can't.
Oh, why not?
She's too
Because
happy.
she doesn't have any negative scores. You can only play death cards on people who have a negative score.
You're too happy at the carnival. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're bringing too much joy to this town. You need to be gone. The noise complaints I've been bringing down to City Hall should have kicked you out by now. I'm very upset.
I'm getting a little disturbed with how many people this carnival is murdering. I'm being honest. You gotta tone it down.
Yeah. What are they doing at this carnival? What is the...
The swan rides are broken.
The sun
Let me
goes
tell you.
down.
Put the swan rides in a bog. For some reason, it didn't work out.
Who knows what's in the back crate? All right, I will try this again. So actually, while Thumbelissa was, continuously warned not to be late, she was late and then late and then late, and then someone somewhere along the way pushed her down the stairs. So she just, maybe somebody else just wanted to take her place. Who knows? It might have been senior management just tired and not being able to get her off the list. Maybe she fell. We will never know.
Just admit that maybe we did it on purpose. You're senior management.
I mean...
You are Sir Darius Dark.
I think at this point we're going to be open about the fact that we're here just to murder you all. It's fine. And if one of our rights goes down...
It's the traveling murder circus.
It's the traveling murder circus. But what was really odd, in fact, was the leader himself, Darius Dark, was put into prison. Not for what you would think. He was not put into prison for murdering. He was put into prison for his mysterious... I'll leave it there, nobody knows.
But cliffhanger, you can't do this!
It was scratched out. We actually don't know his reasoning.
How
We gotta
mysterious.
stop sending the paperwork through the carnival.
I mean, we do have some good lawyers.
They have the most affordable accountants, though. It's just...
That sounds miserable.
But he just wants you to all know that there is a place for everyone at this prison. So I'll leave it there.
Noted.
But one thing that does affect this area is that this is the last murder for the next little while until he becomes even more miserable or maybe happy. The rest of us have been decided, maybe we'll take a little bit of a pause, reset, revisit the show, but no deaths are going to happen for the next little bit.
How
so
long?
I cannot play
Oh, you can't.
the death cards.
Oh, you cannot play death
Oh,
cards. Okay.
as long as that's
Or sorry, I cannot play event cards.
Oh, event
So-
cards. That's different. Yeah.
Oh, so you closed the carnival.
Yeah.
Excellent!
For a short period of time.
This is the greatest, worst news I could possibly have.
So, other things might not be able to happen because of this closure. Death might be off the table. It might not be. Either way.
That sounds very much like the carnival.
Yeah, it really does. It's
I
ups
don't
and
know how I feel
downs.
about this carnival in town. Well, over here in Blackwater Clan, Mr. Willem Stark, the disturbing handyman, is also a little bit disturbed after having had to bury cousin Mordecai because no one else would do it. So he went down and tried to join the Mr. of the Castle,
Lawrence
Slosgar, and was driven to drink by having to deal with the dead body of the kid he didn't even want in the house, which is the first part. And then
Please tell me you're not drinking the brine of Lord Slogar's.
whatever gets you drunk.
Absolutely.
As a
Absolutely.
note, it also does say, don't drive and drink. After all of this as well, the good angel, after her blessing by the bishop, she may have followed him home and stolen a few of his things because she has then immediately been chastised by the church for following the bishop into his bedroom, which seemed inappropriate, and then he realized that she's a serial killer. But my draw limit is decreased by 1. And that is the end of mine. So I'll draw my 1 more card.
Well, Butterfield's been running around this house trying to have a seance, right? The kids have no parental figures whatsoever. There is no nanny to mind them. And you closed the carnival these two little evil children decided to sneak into that carnival that was closed because they needed something to do, and you gave them too good of a good time. They wanted to go and have a happy ending, but instead they were mauled by bears. They got into one of your beautiful little pens and were eaten by bears, and they died miserably.
Excellent.
It's definitely not your fault. You were closed.
No, it definitely was not our fault, and not our fault that we didn't leave locks on the cages.
That would be animal cruelty.
Yes, they are free-range roams.
Free-range
Free-range bears.
Done.
I'm so into free-range bears.
What's happening in this town?
That's why we set aside a forest. That's why.
Oh, they come in, they go. We don't know what happens.
We don't know. There was 4 of them, but now there's 3.
It's okay. So, good old Butterfield doing Butterfield's things is cursed by a crone. Czar really hated Butterfield, and as a ghost, cursed him. Not too much there. He looked in the mirror and realized the face looking back was not his own. And now every surface, anything reflective, all he can see is Czar, and that's how he goes. Covered in bog and peat.
Oh no.
Both the swan. One more ride.
You know, it's funny.
It talks,
There's
it's
a ride
frightening.
at our circus named that, so.
My draw limit is decreased by 1 card, though.
Melissa Slogar, upon returning from her trip to Parliament, where she discovered she was quite popular, has since unfortunately been plagued by the pox that she picked up from the populace of the city.
Oh no.
So you don't leave your hall.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no. She
What happens?
this is her childhood chicken pox. But it has left her quite pimpled and sort of pox-ridden, as it were. Upon her return back to the house, she has, and discovering that her father in a box has been drunk by the
Father in a box.
Yep.
Is my favorite tagline.
I need that on a t-shirt, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The sad little girl cranking inside of the box, being like, "Come on, wake up, Daddy."
But because of the drinking of the who's the
Willem Stark, the disturbing handyman from
Yes,
down
yes,
the road.
yes.
yeah, so because of the nights spent drinking alone with Willem Stark is consuming the juices of Lord Slogar. Lord Slogar has unfortunately been scarred by scandals as a result of this.
I mean, when you let another man drink your juices at night, word gets around.
Yes,
It's a
it
little
does.
weird.
It most certainly does. As a result of this, I do need to discard my entire hand. And I draw back up
Oh,
to
you need to
4 because the plaguing by the pox does mean that I am 1 card less.
Sickly child.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he seems absolutely miserable over there.
Yes.
We like that, but at the same time, that is not great. So, good news, bad news, I suppose.
I don't need to hear it.
While Darius Dark was in prison, he was so miserable because he wasn't able to go out and do his usual routines that bring him joy. He actually just died of despair. So we will miss him, but that does mean that the circus is going to be open again, and someone new will be taking his place. They're going to be having an election. I want you all to know that you are welcome to participate, either as running or as a vote. We welcome the town. We have lots of cast members who are coming in from all over now to join our circus again. So
Scoop
the
him
news
out
is
of the
out
ball.
there. Well, while that's all happening, though, nothing's going to take place otherwise. So I'm actually going to discard my hand and pick up back to 5.
Gotta get ready for your obviously democratic elections at
Yes,
the circus.
this is a very important.
All right.
I think you mean the democratic elections of the circus?
Obvious.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think the first and most important thing that happens on this, the Lord Slogar is a great friend with Willem Stark, so he must have brought him a gift of some kind. Maybe refilled his juice tank with more liquor. But I think Mr. Slogar has died without cares because of all the drunking. which is unfortunate
Oh,
because,
no.
I mean, he was only a brain.
Oh,
He could barely
no.
feel any of those negative emotions anyway. And then I'm going to play...
So sorry, that's miserable.
It's a different kind of misery on this game. And then I'm going to play
Wow.
an event
That
card.
was a negative 55.
Yeah, that
I
was
know,
a lot.
I know, I couldn't let that keep
That was
going.
that was a good play.
What a happy ending.
Yeah,
What a happy ending.
Love this for
We're all
you.
celebrating. at the
Love
circus.
this for me. I'm going to play an event card that is a stormy night. So I can draw 4 new cards and play any one of them, including an untimely death, as a free play. And then I think I might have to discard them. Yeah, and then I discard down to my limit, which is currently my limit is 4, but fantastically, I did get an untimely denies because after Angel had followed that bishop back and got chastised by the church, for some mysterious reason, she disappeared in the fog.
Fog in the bog.
That's all I got for you. She disappeared in the fog. Oh, it means I get to keep my 5 cards, because she was the one ruining my cards in my hand. Yes! Good riddance, murder child. And that's my turn. After her encounter with the church, now she's just gone.
Lola finally made it home. After being scared by this topiary. I'm pretty sure not too far from the carnival. Finally made it home finding both her twin siblings dead. Nanny dead. But the butler still alive. So she went down to the kitchen. She grabbed a butcher knife. She made herself a sandwich. Ate the sandwich. And then slayed the butler.
What?
What? Oh, yeah, was slain. That's all it says. That's what happened to him. He was slain.
That's the story. It was a very delicious sandwich, actually. It was like ham with little cheese and
Sounds amazing.
really nice, like crisp lettuce.
Yeah. Do you
With
think
a little bit of what's that lovely flavor on the last bit of it? E. coli.
Oh!
I think there's a little bit of E. coli on that.
That's not the best butler.
I was gonna say, I mean, a sauce would be considered on that.
I'm gonna discard the rest of my hand. That's what I'm gonna do. You're all having too nice of a life.
Your whole family is dead.
I know.
Oh, you have 3 event
I
cards.
did.
Curiosity.
Yeah, please look at them and you'll see why I just discarded them.
So misfortune favors the old. You may play 2 additional cards this round. Okay. Replace the top modifier card on a character card with one from your hand.
Didn't have
Yeah.
any.
And choose 2 living characters. Swap their top modifier cards.
It would have been a negligible benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't really want to steal your chicken pox for flower trades off. I felt like it was a good. It would have been a good win, but you know,
No,
keep your bubble.
That's fair. That's fair. So the tiny Melissa Slogar, in her efforts to deal with her chickenpox, decided she was going to start drinking rye, and unfortunately drank way too much because she died from it.
Oh.
She perished as a result of her drinking of rye. Now,
Wow.
your Wilhelm Stark.
Yep.
Wilhelm Stark. As a result of the drinking companions and scarred by all the by the scandals, he has also been he has been marred magnificently as a result of his side of the scandals.
Oh,
So he's
Wait. That says married. What?
What? It says married?
Was married.
Oh, married
Magnificently.
Married,
To whom?
Around here.
Same.
I might have misread that.
Mr. misread the paperwork. Is he married to the one living family member left over there?
Only
Good
dark.
Lord.
Dead. Only he knows. Only he knows.
Secrets. The paperwork is taken to the grave.
So what I'll actually lean into here is it turns out that Wilhelm was married to Lord Slogar in secret, and now the paperwork is working its way in terms of who is the inheritance of Lord Slogar's portion of Castle Slogar. Will it be Wilhelm Stark pulling him away from the clan, or will it in fact be the mistress of the castle, Helena Slogar? And with that, then, I'm going to draw up to 5, since the one that was restricting my draw was the twins. So,
The twins do that.
All right. Well, as Alessandra was miserable about revealing their skin tattoos, the surprise of the show being gone, wandered out down to the bog, even though she was told not to go down there, and found a well. That well now started to call her in for some reason. She just felt that she needed to lean over and look down. As she looked down, we don't know what forces brought her there, but she fell to the bottom. So as she fell, because the well was so deep, I can actually play a death card for free. Now, she did die at the end of the well. Yeah.
She fell all the way down that well.
Yeah. So it's a free action. She just kept tumbling down to her miserable death.
down to her demise.
Down to her demise. And then also, noticing that she had gone for a wander, her best friend Samson actually wandered off to try to find her. And as he did so, he broke many bones, tripping over the bear that Ashley was asleep, needing to go back to its pen. That's a longer story for another day, but got tied up for many reasons, and now is just miserable because he can't find his friend. He's got broken bones, and now he has a wild bear to tend with. So that's what's going on in the circus. Elections might be delayed. I'm sorry. All right.
Fair enough. On top of his magnificent marriage, Willem Stark immediately was, after all, I mean, the town's mostly dead. He was immediately caught stealing off of a dead body in the middle of the street, and has been marred for stealing from a stiff. Which just, that happens. But on the upside, what he found was a love letter. That is actually for, I can't pronounce Lola's last name, but Lola, she got a love letter from a mysterious stranger in the lake. And now I think she might be in love. I mean, she's the only one left. No one can bring her down. Not seeing my thing.
She's living her best life.
Yeah, living
You're
her
a
best life all alone
monster.
in that big old house. Oh no. I'm gonna discard that one because I'm only supposed to have 5. I thought I was supposed to get 6.
She
Oh.
did get
I
a love
covered it up.
letter. She
Brought
did get
that
a love
body.
letter from you, and
What?
now we're gonna be wonderfully wedded.
He just got married.
Well, it was discovered that he was married, but as it turns out, a corpse.
Yep,
and
that
so
is
as a
true.
result of that, he
Things
is
get
now
married again.
free and able to marry.
And I'll draw my 2 cards as wedding gifts.
And we were gonna go for a
Congratulations.
honeymoon. We were gonna go and have a lovely honeymoon abroad, but then I got marooned on the moors by you.
It's, well,
And I'm feeling a little bit miserable about this wedding, so just don't talk to me.
Willem had a drinking problem. I'm
That's-
sorry, forgot you.
That is absolutely very fair.
I was going to say congratulations. You're welcome to use the circus tent as a marriaging site because it's no longer being used as a circus. We'll give you discounts.
Can I have the bears thrown in?
Absolutely. They will tend the door. They will welcome your guests. But I
Well.
can't guarantee all of them will get in.
Well,
That's okay.
Welcome, welcome, all. Welcome.
Oh no, that's too good. That's good news. No, that's not good.
Been tricked.
They must all get hit, and then there has to be a fire.
A fire, you said. Anyway.
well, Lord Willem Stark.
Leave him alone.
You, Willem Stark, is responsible for him dying without cares.
I don't know. This is, apparently that was the best thing that's ever happened in this family. Is killing that neighbor.
Well, so
And also marrying him.
so Willem Stark, now that he is engaged once more, has just been frolicking about on the moors, and was so distracted was distracted enough to leave you alone on the moors because he was delighted by ducklings. Just caught delighted by ducklings and was so entranced by them that just completely forgot to meet up with his fiancée.
Does anyone have a duckling symbol in play? I
No.
get to draw cards for each of them because I'm looking at the duckies.
That's
Well, I will
cute,
take at least
though.
my one.
No, sorry.
He's having the best life. What's happening?
And then,
Kids
so the Professor Helena Slogar. So with Igor gone, the castle has really fallen into disarray. So much so that she is now distressed by dysentery,
Oh.
and she is The castle's falling apart. It
Yeah.
is not in a good condition. There is no one left to care for her. She is old, she is angry, and she is in the shits.
She's old, she's angry, and she's pooping.
Yep. And in addition to this, the player to my left may
This is
randomly
gutter
select
humor.
and discard 2 cards from my hand.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make poop jokes.
All right.
So, while the circus is on hiatus, some of the cast members have been renting out an Airbnb local,
Okay.
and they've been observing a lot about the town and how the wedding's been going and how everyone's been enjoying or not enjoying their day. One thing that they did witness is that during the whole wedding debacle, there was a toast for the town, and that was so cheerful and effective that she got so happy that she had to retake back her letter. She had to be thankful to the rest of the town, sent some thank you cards. It went really, really well, and the circus was in awe of how well it went. The bears actually did contribute to the joy. But then, while there was a festival feast after celebrating this wonderful marriage that was happening, in fact, this lovely lady over here that I am forgetting her name.
Professor Helena Slogar.
Because names
Forgettable.
are so... Yeah, I mean, the circus doesn't invest in professors. We're not an education institution by any means.
Just drives away employees.
Good news though, she actually found fame at the feast. She became very popular in the town. She's actually now up for election for the circus, so you and I will need to speak to each other. But you do have the option to draw 2 cards if that makes it any better.
We'll take the 2 cards.
And then I will draw back up to 2.
You have such happiness.
I know, but on the upside, what I'm going to start with first and foremost is I am going to use the event because this level of happiness, let's be real, is absolutely non-realistic. There's no one is as happy as Willem has been these last couple days, so I'm going to play Imaginary Friend, and I'm going to choose a living character and remove him from the game
They were
along with this
never real?
event. Because he never got married at all. That was all lies. You were making up crazy stories because your families died. That's on you, okay?
So Willem just ran
Willem's
away.
he was never even here. I mean, you let a dead man who was in prison file the paperwork for all those marriages. That's on you. It's on all of you. And then...
I mean, I would like to say he ran away to join the circus, but we know what's going on there.
That's just getting murdered.
There's a lot of chaos going on behind the curtain over here.
And then, I don't know what else I was going to do here. I'm going to also play one more event card that was a tragic misunderstanding, and I'm going to swap 2 living. The old lady was never really clever at cards. That was just a legacy thought that the family had about her. She was actually, that was your little circus. The last living member of your circus is actually quite clever at cards.
So instead, she has many broken bones.
Yes, and she's old. Okay, she's just a really old lady, and it wasn't clever. She just cracked her bones a lot, and people thought she was pulling new things out.
Okay.
That's what that was.
Question. I have a card that I haven't been understanding this whole time, so I just want to understand when I can play it. It's called Smoke and Mirrors, and it cancels and discards an event card as it's played.
You can.
So I can negate.
You can negate
Oh
that.
no!
All right. So Jeff, Ashley, I'm going to stop you here. I have an event that needs to take place. Smoke and Mirrors. The mirrors in the circus just started to rotate. We don't know what's happening in that room, but all of a sudden, they both walked out exact same as they entered.
Still broken. Wow.
Do you not want your bearded man to have
whole bones?
Yes.
No! He wandered out still in his cast. Plural. Okay? It's a part of his new character show.
Oh, rats. Well, I was still my second card, and I still have too many cards to draw because I have all these cards. But that was my 2 cards. That's me and me.
Oh.
That's my turn.
Lola would like to have a tour of the venue.
Anytime.
Can I bring my dress with me? And
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring my luggage with me too to just set up my dressing room.
Luggage we need to discuss. You can't stay permanently. This is a tour.
I'll just bring a knapsack. Then, that's
Okay,
fine.
knapsacks are welcome.
Great. So, who will show me around?
Oh, well, the bearded man, of course.
Excellent. And this is the tent.
Yes, he'll show you the tent. He'll show you all the activities as well. If you want to go see the mirrors, if you want to go see the roundabout, if you want to see the bears, all options.
Can you show me how you're gonna keep the guests in?
We don't actually have locks around here.
Oh.
Because they don't believe in locks.
We don't believe in locks. People are also all are welcome in, but also all are welcome out.
I see, so they're all walking out. So then I guess I can't use this, and I'm gonna take out of my knapsack a very large thing of gasoline and just put it down. I guess I can't use that on you. Can you show me the bears?
I need you to remove your gasoline first.
Oh, sure.
Now we can go see the bears.
Excellent, you're torn limb from limb.
They just pushed. His bones were all broken.
It was very easy to
It was
do.
very easy. The bears turned on
You're
him.
choosing to end the game.
I'm choosing to end the
The
game.
bears
okay.
turned on him.
I could have
No.
burned you alive if you had preferred.
No, I asked you to put the gasoline away. Those are options.
Shall we tally our scores?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Tally the scores exclusively of your dead characters.
I am at a lowly negative 75.
I'm a lowly negative 115.
Oh, wow. That's in there.
I am a lowly negative 75.
Oh. I mean, sorry, low
Lovely,
75.
miserable 115. I mean, did the gasoline go off and we died together? I
Yes,
think so.
absolutely, we died together.
Let me
Oh.
just double check if there's a tiebreaker.
Oh. Yeah, who wins? I feel like maybe Emily.
I think Emily's gonna
Emily
win.
has more dead bodies.
Yeah.
That's true. More of us decide to kill.
I'm happy to be miserable
No,
with you.
got murdered. What goes
That's
around comes around when you go
I'm
murdering
so happy
people in
about
town.
this ending.
There's nothing about tie-breaking, so I do believe...
I did get away, so I'll say my whole family does have one happy ending, so I think you had a more miserable time in the end.
Yeah, the circus never came back.
Yeah.
But I really like Loa's revenge story.
I do
It's
too.
beautiful.
You miscalculated the
that little
tiniest bit.
No, I don't think I did. I think you'd have won if I didn't.
Oh yeah, if it comes to Jeremy's turn.
So actually no, because it would have been a negative 35 on the one character that I would have killed, meaning that it would have actually been, I would have been at negative 110.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah,
So
you
then
might
I
have
would have
won.
still maybe won.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a way
Darn
of
it.
ending it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a
did
good
not.
time.
That was
to
a good.
end.
I think it was a fun. It was a good
Yeah.
story.
Oh,
It was a
yes.
Good story.
The story was fantastic, but all of these maybe, coulda, shoulda, wouldas
Just
are...
make it miserable.
They are somewhat irrelevant now in the gloom that has befallen all of our friends, relatives, families, and the stories we told along the way. So, do you have any particularly entertaining stories from the characters that you've killed off through Gloom? Tell us below. And if you want to see more content by all of us, more stories told with this crew, then by all means, subscribe, follow the channel, and we hope to see you in the next one. And remember, keep changing, keep gaming, have fun.